Go.
Salute to y'all. How you doing? My name is Derrick Williams, and I just want to talk to you for a few moments, if I may. I know I haven't put out any content in a week or two, and I apologize for that. This presentation is being produced by my 13-year-old daughter, Damaris. I wanted to shout out my new subscribers. It's just funny, the power of words and how you put them. I never would have thought I would get any subscribers. I'm just one guy that's in the comment section on YouTube. But I wanted to recognize Manic Asylum. Also, I wanted to recognize Stacy, Mojo J, Victoria Welch, and my new best friend, and he goes by the handle of the Blue Moon of Neptune. All right. So what I want to talk about today was I was looking at a news site called naturalnews.com. I've been following this site for about 10 or 12 years now. And it's headed up by a guy named Mike Adams. He's referred to affectionately on the internet as the Health Ranger. And he had a report that you may want to look at on YouTube called the Secret Agenda to Exterminate Blacks. It's about a 57-minute presentation, and he gives you chapter and verse on things like the Tuskegee experiment, the water crisis in Flint, how it seems to be targeting black people exclusively, and other insidious things that our government and just the powers that be are doing to black people in this country. And he also speaks about an extermination process to purge blacks worldwide. Well, while I was on his site today, I saw an article and it talked about a 41-year-old man in the York County prison whose organs were harvested. Well, I went to go look because, you know, that's how people get down. I went to go look because I had my thoughts, but I wanted to confirm before my feeling proved to be right, and it was a black man whose organs was harvested. His name is Everett Palmer, and he was 41 years old. Some type of way he had some type of legal dispute, and he was in the York County prison in New York State. Well, the family is now up in arms because they want to know how their family member died, and more importantly, how some of his organs were missing. This harkens back to just a few months ago, where this was social media, of course. I looked for it right before I went to do this presentation. There is a girl in Chicago. Apparently, she was Kanika Jenkins' best friend. Her name is Sandaria. Well, she didn't get any media coverage for the fact that she was murdered, but social media said that some of her organs were harvested. Well, I went to go do a quick search before I did this presentation, and I didn't find anything that corroborated that story. And we all know social media says a lot, so you have to do a fact check on top of a fact check on top of a fact check. So I'll let you judge on whether or not her organs were harvested. I can't confirm it through any other source. It just says social media said. And we all know about the case a few years ago about the handsome young black man, teenager in the Atlanta area. His name was Kendrick Johnson. Well, if you remember, not only was his organs harvested, he was also stuffed with newspaper. The entire body, where his lungs, heart, kidney, spleen, pancreas, small and large intestines, the whole bowel, everything is gone and stuffed with paper, brain gone. Things like that. And you may or may not know that in China they have mobile execution vans, and what they do is they'll roll up on people, shoot them, harvest their organs, and again they will give them out to the highest bidder. Typically it's some rich dying white guy. So you may or may not have heard these stories. And also it's my understanding that the Israelis are good at doing this as well, along with our government. I was reading a story here in Affinity.com, and the headline said, "The illegal harvesting of black men's organs goes unnoticed." And I just read you a little quick paragraph. Currently, over 118,353 people need an organ transplant, and about 22 people die per day as a result of waiting for an organ transplant. In this situation, the phrase desperate times call for desperate measures takes on an extremely dark persona and ventures into the realm of illegal harvesting of organs. The World Health Organization reports that over 7,000 kidneys alone are illegally harvested annually. Now, this is something to think about. If 7,000 kidneys are needed, you can imagine a heart, a brain, a lung, other important body parts that someone may need. Well, when I was younger, I used to always think it was a virtue to put organ donor on my driver's license. Well, you may want to reconsider that, because if organ harvesting is as bad as this report is saying, and I tend to believe that it is, you judge. What's to stop me from being in a car crash over the weekend? The people, the medical workers, the EMTCs, if I have my ID, and I should, and it's on there in prominent letters, organ donor, what's to stop them from hurrying up the dying process opposed to trying to have me live? It's something to think about. So about 10 years ago, I took that off my driver's license, and I have put it in. Everyone should have a will. I specifically stipulated that my organs be either passed on to a family member or it goes with me. So I have legal documentation to protect myself, and you should want to do the same. Also, when we talk about organ harvesting, we also have to talk about gene therapy or cell therapy. And this takes me to my last thing I wanted to say before I close. Some of you may or may not know about a woman back in the 1950s by the name of Henrietta Lacks. Henrietta Lacks was a black woman in Baltimore, Maryland. And apparently she died of aggressive cervical cancer. Well, did you know that Johns Hopkins, which is a prestigious medical institution in the Baltimore area, they extracted Miss Lack's cells and did not, at this time, black people at that time may or may not have known of informed consent, or the laws may have not been as stringent as they are today. But at any rate, they did not tell the Lack's family that they were going to harvest this woman's cells, and as a result, they have gone on to, Johns Hopkins has been able to go on to profit at least hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. And in fact, CBS did a study, CBS did a report on this, and they were saying that to this date, they have not compensated the Lack's family for, say for instance, the very reason that you can have in vitro fertilization. In other words, a woman can get pregnant without a man started from this woman's cells. So that family should be duly compensated, but they're not. So these are just a few things I just wanted to point out to you. Take care of yourself out there. Just understand that it is a covert. It will not even covert. Just a flat out blatant attack on you as black people. You want to take care of yourself and your children. You want to educate your children on these things. Best believe I talk to my daughter about things like this all the time. It's unfortunate that you have forces out here in the world that will do such heinous things, but it's real. One other thing I want to close with, you may have heard that Planned Parenthood was caught in a sting by Project Veritas a year ago. Project Veritas is headed up by a guy named James O'Keefe. Well, they caught them in an undercover taping where one of the top dogs in the Planned Parenthood organization, her name is Mary Gatter, that's Gattr. She was actually at dinner having wine, and they were talking about harvesting baby parts so that she can acquire money. She was going to take the profits from giving the organs out, and she was intending on buying a Lamborghini. All this is confirmed. You can find this stuff out yourself. The video is all on YouTube. So again, I just wanted to, want to say these few little things that was on my mind today. Again, sorry for not putting out more content quickly. I will be putting out another video soon. I just want to give a little plug for that. I think I'm going to call it propaganda, the covert battle for your mind. So look out for that. You all take care of yourself. And like I always say, Greenville, Mississippi till I die.